Good afternoon. It's so nice to have you all here. We are from Creative Family Connections. We are based in the Washington, D.C. area of the United States. I am Diane Hinson. I'm the owner and founder. This is our 18th year, and this is...
My name's Nikki. I am actually the surrogate recruiting manager, so I'm the one who finds you the lady that you need to carry your little baby.
Yes, a very important job.
Yes.
And Nikki was formerly a case manager with us, and she also served as a surrogate herself, not with us, and she's been an egg donor. So she has a really fascinating background, and I know that when I tell people she's been a surrogate, everybody wants to hear about that, like a real live surrogate here. So we're going to get to that. But before we do, let me make a few remarks about Creative Family Connections and try to tell you a little bit about how we're different from other agencies, because I know that's one of the things people asked me upstairs. So we are a law firm that does everything a surrogacy agency does, but we're one single entity. And just to show you how unique that is, we are the only agency here that can say that. And there's only a handful of us in the entire country. There are agencies that co-own law firms, but we're the only one that is a single entity. And that is all to your benefit, because lawyers, like I am, are very heavily regulated as lawyers. We have ethical obligations. We have duties to our client. So you, as the parents, would be our client. The surrogate would sign a waiver right at the beginning, an acknowledgement that she understands that we are not her attorney. We will facilitate her journey. And the reason, of course, is because a happy womb makes for a happy baby.
True.
But when it comes time to contracts, for example, we are your lawyer. She will have a separate independent lawyer, nobody from our firm. So what difference does that make for you? Well, first of all, every step of the way involves legal issues right from the start. How do we match you? So in the back we have a map of the United States, and it's divided into red light, green light, yellow light states. We will only match you in a state where surrogacy is legal and where we can get your names on the birth certificate. And protect you as the parents. And we will do that right from the start. Secondly, you receive extra protections by working with a law firm, and that's really important to you. Confidentiality. There's something called the attorney-client privilege that would apply right from the start. When your conversations with us, you always know that your interest is paramount. If the surrogate tells us something, we don't have to say, oh, should we tell the parents? Well, yes, we always will tell you everything because you are our client. Your money is protected in ways that it just isn't with an agency because they don't have a duty. We don't earn the money as soon as you pay it to us, so it's only ours. It stays in a trust account. It's only ours as we earn it. Our goal is to make your journey as happy as possible, as stress-free as possible, but also legal and ethical, so that you can breathe and take a sigh of relief and know that you're in good hands. Because the whole surrogacy journey is about trust. As you're going around, you want to find people that you trust will take you on a journey that you know you're in good hands, that you can trust. So it's true for your agency, it's true for your doctors, and then, of course, we need to find you a woman who you can trust to carry your baby. So with that, let's turn to Nikki.
Hi.
And so let me ask Nikki a question,
Okay.
Probably the question you're all thinking. Nikki, what made you decide that you wanted to be a surrogate?
Ooh, my favorite question. Okay, so obviously the best day of your life is the day you have your child. I had two. And I just thought to myself, I lived in Arizona at the time, had a ton of LGBTQ friends. I'd have so many conversations with my guys, and they'd be like, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do. Are we going to have to adopt? I don't know the process. This was oh geez, my journey was about 6-7 years ago when I started. You know, do we get a surrogate? I really want that biological connection. And I just kind of, the light bulb went off and I'm like, I can totally do this. I've had great pregnancies. I would love to help someone have a family. I found an agency. CFC actually wasn't working with surrogates in Arizona at the time because the laws were a little wonky. And, you know, really found a great set of parents. They're actually in Geneva. And I stayed the night with them a couple nights ago with my Surro twins. I always say, the best day of your life is the day you have your kids. But truly, the best day is really watching a family that you've helped create. And I always say, not to get too poetic, but if you could really kind of bottle up that feeling, it's like world peace. You know, it's amazing. I wanted to do it to help a family, and I'm so thankful. It was a pretty amazing thing, actually, to be a part of. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
as Nikki mentioned, she was a surrogate with another agency, and we're not going to talk about them, and we don't badmouth anybody. But what I want to do is talk about some of the differences she's noticed, both as a case manager and as our manager for recruiting, where we go above and beyond. So let's first talk about the match meeting, when you are given the names of someone we think will be that special someone for you.
Right. So we're a little picky. We accept less than 2% of applicants. I feel like if you can get through me, yay, you're going to be, you know, a really good person. So what happens is we have a list of your preferences. So my job is to actually find you a surrogate based on those preferences, okay? Once I have this surrogate, she's applied, I've had my intake call, I've explained to her the process, asked how accurate her application is, I then let you know, okay? How do you feel about this? If you give me the go-ahead, I will then submit all of her medical records to your clinic for pre-approval. In the interim, while she's being approved, I'm going to do reference checks for you. Her background has already been pulled. If she's married, we have also done a background check on her husband. And we're actually going to go see her in her home, which is one thing that's completely different from a lot of other agencies. I think we actually might be the only one who does in-homes personally with one of our employees. I'm going to go visit her in her home, go through her application with her and ask those really hard-hitting questions in person. At that point, you really can't get anything past us. You know, it's completely different having that face-to-face. Once we feel she's a great candidate, we're going to keep moving her forward, and you review her package and say, I want to meet her. We're going to do an introduction meeting via WebEx. You're going to have your case manager with you. They're going to go through the journey, introduce you to your surrogate, and you're all going to talk about everything together. I was told, hey, we have this great set of guys for you. Here's their Skype. Good luck. Let us know how it goes. Very nerve-wracking, but we like to try to break the ice completely up front to make sure you're as comfortable as possible.
Okay, so now put on your, compare your experience as a surrogate and put a little bit of your case manager hat on from when you were that, and talk about support, because everybody says, oh, we give support, but let's talk about the difference of what support really means during the journey, because you all live over here and we want you to have a fantastic relationship with your surrogate, of course, but what does it mean to say we give support?
Right. And a lot of the big difference is you're actually going to have a case manager that's available to you 24/7. You'll see a lot of agencies who are like, we'll contact you twice a month. Kind of let us know how it goes. To me, that's a huge deal. There's big steps along a journey, especially with you being international. You have got to be in the loop the entire time. At 15 weeks, you're going to know we're going to start parentage. We're going to start working on legally getting you those rights before that baby's born. We're going to do a birth plan for you when she is pregnant, and getting close to delivery. We're going to have spoken to the hospital. We're going to have worked with her, with you, for all of those preferences to make sure that everything is handled before she actually gives birth. We're completely available 24/7, email, phone, WhatsApp. My WhatsApp goes off like 10 at night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because if something's going on, we're constantly kept in the loop. You're constantly kept in the loop, which is really nice. That transparency to not kind of wonder what next steps are in the journey. You're going to know what step we're at and what's to be expected, what's coming up. Very, very important. I didn't have that.
The other thing is that if someone has to tell your surrogate that she cannot do something, if you're talking to her and she says, oh, I'm going to go to New York, you'll see New York is one of those, bad states. You don't have to say, no, you can't do that. We never want you to be the no person. If someone has to be what we call the bad cop, it'll be us, and we won't say, oh, we just talked to so-and-so, and he said, the case managers reach out all the time, and so the case manager will get it out of her, and then we'll be that bad cop. And so, yes, we will have a birth plan, and we will go over all the details. We will ask for even a room for you at the hospital so that you can have the baby stay with you, and the surrogate will be down the hall recuperating and can visit each other. But we want that experience also to be as happy as possible. So the fact that we're a law firm means we get it right on the law.
Yes.
We protect you. And we don't want you to stay on this birth certificate.
Yes, that's correct.
Or
I'm
the
still on.
surrogate,
I'm still on the birth certificate of my Surro twins almost 5 years later. One of the big things that I saw about this agency, which is why I did actually come to work for them, and now you're stuck with me forever, and just keep in mind, you guys, like the support, it's so important. I can tell you as a surrogate, I gave birth at 32 weeks, which is terrifying. 2 twins. We didn't have a birth plan. Parentage hadn't been started. And when I called my social worker to say who makes the decisions for these babies, my guys are trying to get here from Switzerland. She said, well, I guess you are. Yeah. What? We get that all ironed out for you. So heaven forbid, it doesn't really happen if you miss the birth. Our people really don't. Everything's handled and taken care of for you. We're going to have a proxy that we can get a hold of in case you are traveling to try to get there. So definitely have your best interests at heart. Please keep that in mind. So important.
Basically, we're going to worry about the details so that you don't have to. We're going to every step of the way, and we honestly just want this to be as happy as possible. Did I say this already? As stress-free as possible, and legal and ethical, and that's the note I'm going to end up on. So as you're walking around and talking to people, look for who you trust. This is all about a journey about trust, and then ultimately, because we're going to be the ones to find that woman who you trust and to keep you feeling good throughout the process. So thank you so much.
Thank you.